I had to take a minute. After watching that Texas Deathmatch main event, where Hangman Page lost it all, I'm ready. Let's talk about it right here in Alyx's World. Hello all, and welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I'm your host, Alyx, just Alyx, and I am using my midnight voice. Why am I using my midnight voice? Because it's past midnight. It's literally past midnight for me. It wouldn't be an AEW pay-per-view. It would not be an AEW pay-per-view if it didn't go past midnight. These shows are too long, man. But you know what? At this point, is it worth complaining over? Like, what do we look like at this point complaining about the length? They've been long. They've been too goddamn long since 2019. Tony Khan just loves his long-ass shows. There was at least a good 3 matches we could have cut out. And I promise you, I can find 3 matches right now. That Dogs versus Cassidy, Darby Allin, and who was the third person in that match? Roderick Strong. Cut that match out. The fact that I forgot that Roderick Strong was in that match, that lets you know that should be on Collision. You could have cut out Andrade and Bandito. The match was great, but you could have put that on Dynamite. Quite honestly, Tekla versus Chris Statlander, weakest match in the show. Not saying it was a bad match. They were in a very, very bad spot. Other matches I can think about, but I'll say it like this. What people remember the most when it comes to these pay-per-views, when it comes to AEW shows in general, is the ending. How it starts and how it ended. AEW started with a classic. FTR versus the Young Bucks. They finally had their classic match. Took them 5 matches to reach one, but they got one. And then we had the return of On This Day, Edge and Christian, Cope and Christian, Adam Copeland and Christian confronted both FTR and the Young Bucks. So it's looking like we teased 2 feuds. We teased Cope and Christian versus the Young Bucks, Cope and Christian versus FTR. Can't wait for it. That's going to be nice. And the main event, oh my goodness. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I could sit here all day and tell you what a violent match the main event was. Y'all just gonna look at me like, all right, Alyx, we've seen so many violent matches. And you have, touche. You have definitely seen your share of violent matches in AEW. But hear me when I say this. When I tell you this match was violent, you not ready. You know what? Here's what we gonna do. I'm just gonna show you some pictures. I'm gonna pull up the Twitter. I'm gonna pull up X, and I'm just gonna show you some pictures. Okay? And then you tell me. Okay, look at this. Can you see that? Hold on, let me do this. Yeah, like, I'm sorry. Do you need me? Do you need more? Like, do you need more? Do you need more? Lord have mercy. By the way, shout out to MJF, who paid homage to the legend, the man, the myth. Appreciate that. But still, like, I don't know what else I can tell you other than after the match was done, I needed a break. because there's only so much, even for someone like me who grew up on ECW, who grew up on the Attitude Era. There's only so much that even I can take, because here's what got me. You already saw it. That syringe spot, the syringe spot where MJF stuck a syringe into the mouth of Hangman Page, like he did to Swerve Strickland. The needle came out on the other side. He squirts, what is that, water, wherever the hell. He squirts it out on the side of his cheek. It just comes out, right? And then leaves it in there. And then Hangman Page wrestles with it in his mouth. That got me. I was like, okay, yep, not watching that. You saw skewers. There it is. You saw skewers, barbed wire, light tubes, glass. Everything that made CZW is literally everything we had in this match. It was as violent as I was expecting it to be. The ending was perfect. Every single time Hangman Page lost a Texas death match, it was by him being hung over the top rope. The Hangman got hanged. And I love that when he fell, his head hit the camera lens, just face first. And then you left a mark on the camera as it was filming him losing. That was a crazy, crazy sight. That was nuts. And he's out. That was it. He didn't get no help. MJF didn't need no help, believe it or not. I'm happy he went by himself. But there was a side of me, and I think I did predict this a little bit. I said, I wouldn't be shocked if Swerve Strickland came out and cost Hangman Page. Because that would feel the most appropriate, right? No. MJF just beat him by himself. He beat him by himself. This match had it all, man. Like I said, you had glass, you had barbed wire, tables, chairs. They fell off the stage and electricity just went crazy. Rock versus Mankind 1999 vibes. And then, the syringe. Did I say light tubes? If I didn't, I'm going to say it again. Light tubes. Yeah, this was a great callback to all the matches that Hangman Page has done in his career. Because think about it this way. Think about all these matches that MJF and Hangman Page have had that are violent, including the CM Punk versus MJF match. And the reason why I bring that up, he mentioned CM Punk. Well, they paid homage to that match because Hangman Page brought out a dog collar. Yes, they brought out the dog collar to pay homage to MJF's Revolution match against CM Punk in 2022. They paid homage to all of their matches. Because remember, Jon Moxley and Hangman Page had their first Texas Death match at Revolution 2023. And this match paid homage to that. Well, it paid homage to all of the Texas Death matches and the death matches, lights out matches that Hangman Page has had in his career. Even the ones against Swerve Strickland. I wouldn't have booked this any better. You're not going to get a better match than this. I thought this was picture perfect. It did exactly what it needed to do. It put MJF over. He has exorcised his demons. And Hangman Page can no longer wrestle for the AEW World Championship until it gets reversed. It will get reversed. It's not going to get reversed this year. They need to ride this out. Ride it out for a couple of years. Max, 3 years. 3 years, maybe 5. 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years. Play it by ear. And when they break it, it should be with him as a heel. Turn him heel. Turn him heel and let him get so desperate. I need this title match. I'm going to do whatever I had to do. I'm going to break all the rules and make Tony Khan reverse the decision. Or put him in a casino battle royale where he has no choice but to get a title shot. Right? Like, do one of those things where he can get around it by doing this. And then he breaks that. He's going to break this rule. I've always thought Cody Rhodes, when he lost to Chris Jericho and they said you could never challenge for the World Championship again, I always envisioned him going heel, right? Him going heel and then breaking it that way. That's what I always envisioned. So that's what they should do with Hangman Page. He should go heel and he should force Tony Khan's hand or force someone's hand and get the title shot that way. Don't make this permanent. It doesn't need to be permanent. But I'm happy that MJF won. MJF winning was the right decision. That was the right call. As he should have. We can all agree that if Hangman Page had not won this match, well, let's say it this way. If we all predicted what we all predicted, which was him losing, if that had not been the case and Hangman Page had won the match and MJF lost and they put the belt back on Hangman Page, that would have killed MJF's run. That would have been the dumbest decision they could have made. MJF had to win this. Hangman Page needed to lose this because you needed him to have that sympathy factor. So the next time he does win the championship, it'll feel a bit more special, right? And however he gets that title match in the future, I'm looking forward to seeing that. That's going to be fun. But, yeah, how appropriate, right? Fate is cruel. Fate is very cruel. This is it. He can no longer challenge for the world title. But yeah, that match was brutal. When this match was done and the pay-per-view ended, I had this feeling in my gut. And it's hard for me to say this without sounding like a kiss ass, without sounding like, oh Lord, he's just kissing AEW's behind now because WWE sucks, because I know people are about to say that. But I'm just going to say it. This felt like the old AEW. When this pay-per-view was done and the credits rolled, I said to myself, I think we're back. I think we're back. The crowd was hot throughout the entire show. Los Angeles, peak, awesome crowd. We had a lot of surprises. Great wrestling, fantastic wrestling. Storyline progression, big angles, matches felt important. They've been chasing, AEW has been chasing this feeling for years, right? They've been chasing this idea of restoring the feeling. I think they got it back. I think when this was all said and done, I said to myself, we're back. We're back. Let me name you all the people that came back. We had Adam Copeland and Christian. Ronda Rousey. Yeah, Ronda Rousey returned to the ring, not in WWE, but in AEW. She confronted Toni Storm. You already know that's going to be a match they do. Whether that's at All In or whether it's at, what's the next pay-per-view? Dynasty? Or Double or Nothing? You know that's a match they got to do. Honestly, if Mercedes Moné is going for the Women's World Championship, go ahead and do Ronda Rousey versus Toni Storm. Go ahead and do that match. I think they should do that match. Will Ospreay came back, and he's healthy, 100%, already back inside the ring. Went right after Jon Moxley. I thought Konosuke Takeshita and Jon Moxley had let me watch my words here. They had a fantastic match. My only issue, and it's a small issue, I understand what Tony Khan was going for, but I have an issue with this match, and that issue is Takeshita should have won. Takeshita should have won. Konosuke Takeshita should have won this championship. The crowd was ready for it. I was ready for it. And Tony Khan missed a great opportunity to do a title change that would have meant something. It would have meant something. It would have been huge. I don't think any titles... That's not true. We did have a title change that happened, but it wasn't the title change that should have happened. Konosuke Takeshita should have won this match. But Tony Khan probably felt it's better that he loses and gets over with sympathy, gets over in defeat. He was that close. He was that close. But Jon Moxley made him pass out to his chokehold. And that sucks. I felt that. When Takeshita lost, I said, man, why y'all do that to me? Why y'all do that? I wasn't expecting to see Mystical and Jet Speed win the Trios Championships. Not only that, I wasn't expecting Mystico to sign full-time with AEW. Yeah. Mystico signed full-time. Now he has multiple contracts, probably working with CMLL and other promotions as well. But no, he's working full-time with AEW. That man's about to get paid. He about to get that moolah. That's crazy. I'm happy for him. Kenny Omega came back. And you know he's about to get into a awesome feud with Swerve Strickland. That's gonna feed families. Yeah, man, like Andrade had a great match with Bandito. Did it need to be in the pay-per-view? No, but it is what it is. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Megan Bayne and Lena Cross, who are your new women's tag team champs. Apparently Jack Perry won the national championship on the pre-show. Well, not really. He won it. The match started on the pre-show, but then he won it on the main show. So Jack Perry won the national championship on the main show. And then I'm trying to think. Tekla retained against Chris Statlander. Again, that was the weakest match in the show. Not saying it was like an absolute terrible match. No, it was good. It was just compared to everything else, it was the weakest match on the show. Which is saying something, because it was a good match. Yeah, man. The feeling has been restored. I think with this roster, with the people they have on the roster right now, if they tell the right story. So MJF is holding that world championship all the way to All In, as he should. He should main event All In with it. I'm questioning if he should drop the belt at All In too, because he's single-handedly making this entire show interesting by himself. He's carrying this show on his back. But you do him in the main event. Will Ospreay's back. He's 100%. You warm him up with a couple of matches, a couple of feuds before we get to the Owen Hart Cup, right? He needs to win the Owen Hart Cup. You have Will Ospreay versus MJF in the main event, Wembley Stadium for the World Championship. You can't tell me that bitch won't sell out. You cannot tell me they will not be able to sell this out if you have MJF and Will Ospreay in the main event. Man, that's crazy. And that's just the main event. We're also going to get Konosuke Takeshita versus Kazuchika Okada for the International Championship. That's going to be a classic too. We're going to get Mercedes Moné fighting for the AEW Women's Championship, probably as a babyface. That's going to be a great moment. We're going to get Adam Copeland and Christian either going in as tag team champs or winning the belts at All In. Again, we could do Cope and Christian versus the Young Bucks, Cope and Christian versus FTR, a triple threat, a ladder match, a TLC match. Fuck it. Go all the way, TLC. Oh my goodness, I'm getting excited talking about all these matches that we could potentially be getting. I'm just getting started. I don't even know what they're going to do with the TNT Championship. You know, Tommaso Ciampa got to get that belt back. He got to get back Sylvie, right? Oh, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they do. The possibilities are endless. And I think if WWE isn't careful, if they get cocky, if they see what's happening with AEW and go, we're not worried about them, and they rest on their laurels, and they don't start taking them seriously, I promise you, AEW is going to sneak up on them. AEW will sneak up on them, and they will eclipse them. They sold out Los Angeles The crypto arena, they sold it out. Someone said, you can't call it TLC. Did WWE trademark TLC? Okay, can they call it just no holds barred? Or maybe just do a ladder match. Screw it, just do a ladder match. Whatever. Do a ladder match and then have tables, ladders, and chairs in it. Whatever. Maybe we got replace chairs with thumbtacks or some shit. I don't know. Tables, ladders, and kicks. How about that? Tables, ladders, and kicks. Get around the copyright with that bullshit. Dagnabbit. Yeah, there's so much we can do because of this show. Whatever they decide to do, they gotta go all in with it. No pun intended. They gotta go all in with it. Like, get a plan, get a direction, lean into it. AEW has one of the best rosters in the world. And I'm not just talking about the main roster. I'm talking about Ring of Honor. Athena, Sammy Guevara, those people. Zeta Steel. Yeah, she's on the roster now. The same Zeta Steel that was in the WWE ID program. Same one. And who knows who else is coming to AEW? Everyone's saying Johnny Gargano might pop up in AEW. He probably has a couple years on his contract. I don't see him going anywhere. He's probably going to be put in a tag team with Alex Shelley. So we'll see. We'll see what they end up doing. I will say this. Let me just say this one thing, because this has been bothering me, and I want to bring this up. Remember, who was it that got kicked out? He was a member of the Rascals. That wrestler who was a part of the Rascals, who was 4 people, right? Who was that guy's name that got kicked out because of a very insensitive comment he posted on social media like a decade ago? What was his name? He's in AEW now. I don't think that was Trey Miguel. That's not Trey Miguel, right? Was it Trey Miguel? Whatever. They fired that guy because it was Trey Miguel. Thank you. They fired that guy because of offensive statements that he made in the past. Do I need to bring up the offensive shit that Ronda Rousey said about Sandy Hook being a stage shooting? About it not being real? All I'm saying is this. Be consistent. I get that Ronda Rousey is a celebrity and you tend to overlook that shit when it's a big-time name like Ronda Rousey, who's a box office draw. I'm just saying, if we're going to be okay with Ronda Rousey, we should be okay with Trey Miguel. That's it. That's all I'm saying. So are you saying fire Ronda Rousey? That's, well, some people are like, hey, don't tempt me with a good time. Don't tempt me with a good time. No, I'm not saying fire Ronda Rousey. I'm not saying punish Ronda Rousey. I'm just saying, if you're going to let Ronda Rousey slide, you should let Trey Miguel slide. A little late since Trey Miguel's back in TNA. But, yeah, I personally think they should bring him back. Because Ronda said much worse shit. Much worse shit. That's it. That's all I'm trying to say. Be consistent. Just be consistent. Look, Jay Briscoe, well, both the Briscoes, really. But Jay Briscoe said some offensive shit in the past as well. Brought him in anyways. That's all I wanted to say. Y'all, it's midnight. I'm not going to keep you here too long. Let's move things along. Thank you all so much for making me a part of your night. Because TNA, I wish. I'm thinking about TNA right now because it's Trey Miguel on the mind. Because AEW likes going longer than it needs to go. Past midnight. But I do appreciate you for making me a part of your wrestling viewership. You chose me out of many other podcasters tonight, and I'm grateful for that. So if this is the first time you're watching me, do me a solid favor. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Wow, your edit help expand the brand by doing the following things. Join the membership. Click that join button and get the opportunity to request a video of your choosing, whether it's a live reaction, a hot topic, or a review, past, present, or future. Also, don't forget to give thanks. Hit that super thanks. If you would like to donate after the fact, you can also like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, just Alyx Central. Give me a follow on Instagram. Give me a follow on Spotify. Give me a follow on Cameo. Give me a follow on Threads. Follow us on Discord. Follow me on Blue Sky, where the skies are clearer. Give me a follow on TikTok. For I am the tickest of the talkers. Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, Venmo. And yes, Super Chats are officially on you. Could donate at any point in time during the broadcast. To get your thoughts played live on the air, email me at justalyxsworld@gmail.com for business inquiries. Just to say hi. Get yourself a t-shirt today at Pro Wrestling Tees and Teespring. Are you a Just Alyx guy? Then join the club. Get you an I'm a Just Alyx t-shirt. Hot the press. Also get you an old school Deluxe Man t-shirt. Get you a new school Alyx's World t-shirt and many more t-shirt designs coming your way. So stay tuned. Join the cause. Expand the brand today right here at Alyx's World. Thank you all so much. The sponsorship for this broadcast is SeatGeek. SeatGeek is here to make sure you get the best deals on the best seats. AEW is going to be coming all over the world. I'm going to keep going because that sounded kind of dirty, but they're coming. And they're coming hard and coming soon. Pause. They're coming to a town near you. You're going to want to get it off of SeatGeek. Why? Because if you use my promo code, JustAlyx, when you buy your tickets, you can get $20. I said $20 off any ticket purchase. If that's something you're interested in, how's about we get a quick word from our sponsors before we get to some shout out. Today's video is sponsored by SeatGeek. If you're a wrestling fan looking for access to great seats for any wrestling event near you, then you want to use this app. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek stands as the unrivaled #1 ticketing app in the market today. SeatGeek constantly delivers incredible deals on ticket prices. When you're exploring the app, keep an eye out for the special green dots that mark the best deals. What's even better is that every ticket you purchase is backed by SeatGeek's buyer guarantee, with the option to return your tickets and even swap them before the events. So here's an exclusive for you. If you click the link down below and use the promo code JustAlyx, you can get $20 off your first purchase. Yes, $20 off any ticket that you purchase using the promo code JustAlyx. This is a sweet deal that you could use literally right now. So don't wait. Click the link, download the app, and join the SeatGeek family today. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you for making me a part of your day. Show your love to the Mod Squad, Ultra, Shine Nice and Fire Star Heart, Elias, Ademi, New Japan Pro Wrestling Girl, Khalil does everything. Huh? Wait, Dylan Danger, I said danger. Dylan Danger, Teflon Don, The Mod Father, Zeno, Enigma, Big MGM, and of course, Mrs. Firestar Heart, Angel, holding back. Because they help keep this a safe space for wrestling fans like you and like us. Please be sure you like the video. The more you like the video, the more opportunities I will be given to be recommended here on YouTube. So help boost that algorithm by hitting that like button. Big shout out to Noel Jimenez, a member of the channel. Now, I got something to take care of really quickly. Captain Brendan Watson, salute! Mr. Brendan Watson couldn't defend the championship because he had to dance. He had to take a little trip and took a girl out, I'm assuming, right? Did you take a young lady out, or were you just going to dance? I'm just saying, you probably got it with them girls, bro. I'm just saying. But he took a little trip to dance, and so he couldn't defend his belt. But you know what? That's okay, Mr. Brendan Watson. You can win it back tomorrow. Well, today, because it's tomorrow today. For Monday Night Raw, You can win it back on Monday Night Raw because the new champ, Omar Feliciano, has moved the defense away from SmackDown and moved it to Monday Night Raw. So if you want the International Championship, just show up on the Raw stream and win it back. Just win it back and then move it back to SmackDown. Got like what? In the next 24 hours? Just win it back, bud. Not a big deal. Matter of fact, Noel Jimenez, maybe you want to win the belt. Or do you want to save your money for the World Championship? The World Championship at WrestleMania. Or just come for 3 Diglets when he shows up. Noel, look, my dude. Let me tell you a little secret about 3 Diglets. Since he's not here right now. Right? You know what I mean? He's sleeping. He's clanging and banging. If you want to get 3 Diglets' attention, you can't just come at him with $5 and be like, challenge me. Nah, you can't do that. Noel, you gotta come big. You gotta drop at least 20, maybe even 50 to get 3 Diglets' attention. Drop that 50 and be like, yo, 3 Diglets, put the title on the line. And he'll do it. But you gotta do it the right way. So yeah, the championship is on the line tomorrow for Monday Night Raw. Yes, SD Kai, 3 Diglets is back. He's been back. Matter of fact, I think... So, if you was thinking, oh man, I didn't think I was going to meet him again. Yeah, he back. Guess who's back? So Noel Jimenez is saying, I guess I better come win this championship then. Let's see what happens. Don't worry, Brendan Watson. Win your belt tomorrow. Come win the championship back and become once again Captain Brendan Watson. Salute! Or maybe we'll get the ruler! Noel Jimenez coming to win the International Championship. Let's see what they do. Let's see what happens. All right, shout-outs. Let me get the shout-outs in. Who here? Who is crazy enough to watch me past midnight? We got Trey Lucado. Young Money, Trey Lucado. We got Jordan Williams. Jordan Williams says, I really wish AEW pay-per-views were on Saturdays and not Sundays. I wish they were on Saturdays in the afternoon. How about that? I missed that. That shouldn't just be for All In. That should be period. Mr. Matrix 69 says, man, what a show. Yeah, that main event was nuts, man. Higurashi in the His House. Good to have you here. We got JJ. Who let the dogs out? Who? What time is it for y'all, by the way? What time is it? Because I know it's past midnight for a lot of you. We got Joseph Winters. We got SD Kai. He says Keith Lee is done. I have no idea what's going on with Keith Lee. I think Keith Lee and Britt Baker are in the same situation where they're waiting for Tony Khan to make up their minds, to make up his minds and just bring him back. Ultra Shadow says it's 126. No, it's probably 158 for him in Atlanta right now. Yeah, it's too many matches, bro. Too many matches, I agree. Ben James, 9696. We also got Super Blue 6520. He's like, MJF won clean? What? Yeah, I know. Lee Mexico. I haven't seen you in a minute. Norman Hemphill. Norman Hemphill. 5023. What's good, Norman Hemphill? I see Regito Boy. I see... Ooh, there's a lot of people here. Oh, these times are scary. 11 p.m. Well, Regito Boy is 11 p.m. Close to 2 a.m. for... Oh, Jesus Christ. Close to 2 a.m. That's crazy. So everyone here is past midnight. Wow. Brendan Watson. The dance marathon was an event to raise money for the local children's hospital and an organization called the Children's Miracle Network. Dude, that's awesome. So if you win the championship tomorrow, Brendan, next time what you can do is let me know ahead of time. Be like, hey, Alyx, so I can't defend this belt on this day. Can we move it to Monday Night Raw? Right? You can change the date. Right? You're allowed to change the date as the champ, but make sure you let me know, right? So let's say you win the belt back and next week you can't defend it on Friday. Fine, keep it on Monday. Right? So I'm not going to be like, you have to defend it every week or else. I'm flexible, bro. Whenever you can defend, whenever you can defend it. So win the belt on Monday Night Raw and then change it to whatever you want. Let's see here. Game Shock. Joe Arredondo. Did you see WWE might leave Saudi? I did read something about WWE considering changing locations due to the war in Iran. Yeah, I did see that. That's going to be quite the conflict, especially if Donald Trump attacks Saudi Arabia next, because he's already attacking Iraq. So we're definitely going to have to see what he does there. All right. Sounds good, my man. So, Captain Brendan Watson, will I see you at Monday Night Raw? Will I see you at the very next stream to win this championship? Because you're going to have to challenge Noel Jimenez for it. How about that? Because he's probably going to be like, I'm not going to just let you waltz your ass in here and take this belt. Not gonna lie, I might leave in 10 minutes. Hey, look, Noel, if you gotta leave in 10, I understand. It's late. But be here for Monday Night Raw. Alright? I'm gonna need to see you for Monday Night Raw. Because it's gonna be a big show. Roman, Brock, Oba, they all gonna be there. AJ versus Bayley. It's gonna be a big show. So, alright. Let's go ahead and get to this review. I don't want to hold you guys here too long. Get your donations in. Let me know how you guys feel about the show. Give me your scores, give me your grades, and let me know what your favorite match was. I did a poll before I started this. I did a poll to see what was the overall favorite match, and it's not even close. The poll only has like a couple, like 100 votes. It's not even that much, but I have 100 votes. 69% say MJF versus Hangman Page Texas Death Match was the match of the night. And right under that is Jon Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita. Wow. I swear FTR and the Young Bucks were going to win. But what do I know? I'm curious. For those of you who actually watched the show, did you pay for it? Because I did. I always buy the pay-per-views. I actually watched this pay-per-view, and I'm going to continue watching the AEW pay-per-views over HBO Max. Yeah, I ordered it off of HBO Max, and the quality is better. I can't believe I'm saying that. I usually watch it AT&T satellite dish, Uverse. I'm never watching it that way again after watching it on HBO Max. The quality over HBO Max is so much better. It just looks a lot more crisp. The colors are more bright. It pops more. And the quality and the... Let's just say it's upgraded. Okay? And I think I'm going to continue doing that for the rest of the year. It's also cheaper. I have to pay 50-something bucks to watch it on AT&T Uverse. I've always had an HBO subscription. I'm just paying $39 now. So, save 10 bucks. Plus. So I would recommend, like, if you're gonna buy the pay-per-views, we all have an HBO Max subscription, right? All of you are, well, I'm hoping some of you are House of the Dragon fans, or at least you're fans of dun 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 dun. Maybe you're fans of Euphoria. If you're a fan of Looney Tunes, you got an HBO Max subscription. So just watch it there, I promise you. It's just so much better that way. But getting into the show, it was interesting. It was interesting seeing how they opened the show with the latter part of the 21-man Blackjack Battle Royal, where to win the match, you have to eliminate 21 men from the ring. It came down to Ricochet and Jack Perry. And Jungle Boy Jack Perry eliminates Ricochet. Ricochet loses his national championship, and Jack Perry wins his second? Because he won the TNT title. This is the international. Not the international. This is the national championship. So congratulations to Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Don't know what they're going to do with Ricochet. Hopefully they move him up to a different championship, because that's what he should be doing. He should be going for a different championship. Should be going for the World Championship, really, but what do I know? So yeah, congratulations to Jack Perry. They opened up with the latter part of the pre-show match. I don't know how I feel about that yet. Kind of weird for someone that doesn't watch the pre-show. But the crowd. Los Angeles brought it. This crowd was incredible. Sold out, by the way. 13,000. 13,000 strong. They were live throughout the entire show. Even the dead matches, they were still pretty into it. Like, the weakest match on the show was the Women's World Championship match, right? That would be Tekla versus Chris Statlander in 2 out of 3 falls. Crowd was still into it. So, a great crowd can take a show that's good and make it fantastic. And this show had that. The opening match was FTR versus the Young Bucks. Match number 5. A classic. Excellent opener. Another FTR classic bout. They had blood. The most I've seen the Young Bucks sell for anybody. I ain't never seen them sell this much for anyone. And believe it or not, it's one of their best matches. This is one of my favorite Young Buck matches. I'm not saying they've had bad matches. I love the PWG crazy spot fest here and there. You had a little bit of that. But the way it was structured, it made sense to what the match was. And so it didn't feel out of place. And I love the fact that there was a spot in there where FTR did the EVP or BTE trigger, whatever the fuck, the finisher that the Young Bucks use, right? And then I think it was Nick Jackson who was busted open. Nick Jackson kicked out and won. That was paying homage to the Revolution match between Kenny Omega. It was Kenny Omega, Hangman Page versus the Young Bucks, where they used the same move, the BTE trigger, and Kenny Omega kicked out at 1. Or was him? Wait. Did they use the One-Winged Angel? No, they didn't. I'm getting that mixed up with Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay from Forbidden Door. Never mind. I was right. I had it right the first time. They hit him with the BTE, and then Kenny kicked out at 1. That was a crazy moment. That was nuts. I love that they play the greatest hits, but they're doing it in a way that feels fresh, right? So, love that. Loved everything about that. I love what they did at the end. So, FTR beat the Young Bucks with a top rope shatter machine. That shit looked like it hurt. Hurt like a bitch. FTR retained, and the next thing you know, you see letters appear on the screen, and at first it said Evenge. I was like, what the fuck, Evenge? What? And then you see the rated R pop. Bow, rated R. It was Edge's signal. Adam's signal. Cope's signal. His logo appeared. And then, You Think You Know Me. On this day, comes out, big pop. And then Christian comes out. But he doesn't come out from the front. He comes out through the crowd and attacks him from behind. That was great. And so, Cope and Christian lay out FTR. And they grab the tag team titles. And then they turn to face the Young Bucks with the tag team titles. They teased 2 feuds. FTR, Adam Copeland and Christian, or Cope and Christian, and then Cope and Christian versus the Young Bucks. I hope that converges. We get a tables, ladders, and kicks match at All In. That'd be dope. But yeah, that opener, you couldn't have asked for a better opener. I am excited to see what they do for the upcoming future. But yeah, let's see what they do here. I love that opener. That was great. And it was hard for anything else to follow it for a bit. Until Jon Moxley and Konosuke Takeshita. But Toni Storm and Marina Shafir had to follow that. Oh, them poor ladies. They did a good job, though. They did a good job. This was wild. This was messy. Essentially, Marina Shafir beat the piss out of Toni Storm. Literally beat the piss out of her. And then Toni fought back by biting her feet and biting her tits. And then beating her with a roll-up pin. Yeah, she beat Marina Shafir with a roll-up pin. And then goes to exit the ring. She gets 10 steps up the ramp before Ronda Rousey, yes, Miss Rowdy, Ronda, not Ronda, but Ronda Rousey showed her crazy ass back up, pointed to Toni and said, "Get your ass back in here." Sonya Blade said, "Get your ass back in here." She voiced Sonya Blade in Mortal Kombat. Anyways, Toni said, "I shall oblige." Toni Storm gets back in there. We have a face-off. And I said, all right, well, that's going to be a show's main event somewhere. Or it's going to be a pay-per-view match. Probably Double or Nothing. I doubt they're going to hold this off until All In. Maybe they will do Ronda Rousey and Toni Storm at All In. I would love to see it. Fuck it. Let's do it. See how far we can get with it. The match was going to be crazy. But if they do Ronda Rousey versus Toni Storm on Dynamite, that's the main event. There is nothing. There is literally nothing the men can do to top that match on Dynamite. That's the main event. So, they're going to save it for pay-per-view. Toni Storm versus Ronda Rousey. That's going to be nuts. They're doing a rematch between Marina Shafir and Toni Storm. It's going to be a no-holds-barred match on Dynamite. Why? I don't know. Who cares? I will tell you what I care about. Jon Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita. No time limit. Oh, this match was fantastic. Oh, the near falls, the false finishes, the selling. Let me tell you something. Konosuke Takeshita's he's gonna win the world title one day. He needs to win the world championship one day. The way he wrestles, the way he sells, the way this guy is able to get you invested in the match. It's the small things. So, Jon Moxley, at some point in time in the match, went after Konosuke Takeshita's leg, right? And too many times you see them working on a body part and it doesn't play into anything in the match. Towards the end of the match, Konosuke had Jon Moxley beat. He had him in his sights for the running knee. He pulls down the knee pad, goes running. What happens? He trips because his leg hurts. I love that shit. That's the kind of shit we don't see enough of. That is awesome. And because he tripped up, it allowed Jon Moxley to take advantage and hit his finisher and lock in the rear naked choke. He locks in the rear naked choke. And you see Konosuke Takeshita fighting. He's fighting. No, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up. Give him the middle finger. He passed out. There was a section before then where both of them just went straight PWG. And they were hitting exploders and Germans and exploders and kicking out at one and kicking out at one. That shit's my shit. I love that. I love it when you do it in spurts. Where we have a PWG moment where things are just happening back to back to back to back. Oh, God. Give me more of that. But it ended with a heartbreaker. Konosuke Takeshita did not beat Jon Moxley. Now, I understand why. Long term, it's great. You give him that sympathy, so when he beats Okada at All In, it means a lot more, right? The fans were ready. They were ready for him to win this Continental Championship. They were ready for it. Jon Moxley beat him, though. He beat him by making him pass out, which got him over in defeat. Gave him that sympathy. And then afterwards, he showed him respect, right? But man, God, I really wanted Konosuke to win that championship. But sometimes you gotta do that. You gotta break their hearts sometimes. You can't always give them what they want. This was a situation where I wanted Konosuke Takeshita to win the championship. I'm glad he didn't, because it's gonna help. It's gonna make him feel that much more important when he does win a championship later. So, doesn't really matter, because after that, I'm not saying it doesn't. It does matter. But after that, we saw a bioengineering vignette of a doctor working on a shadow silhouette, just a dark silhouette in a tube. And next thing you know, the tube breaks and out walks Willard Ospreay. Ow! Elevated to the star. Whoa! Will Ospreay made his return. Big pop, another return. This one was just as big as Cope and Christian. Came back, got in there, and beat the piss out of the Death Riders, who are back to being heels. Thank God, because I was scared. I was getting kind of worried that they were going to turn babyface for a second there, and I'm like, don't do that, please. Please don't turn them. Don't do that. So he came back for Jon Moxley, so he can whoop that trick. Get him! Big pop. I was worried that he wasn't going to be able to make it, but he's right back in time for the Owen Hart Cup. Tony Khan, do the right thing. I'm excited. Good to have you back, Will Ospreay. The Babes of Wrath. That's Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale taking on, what are they called? It's Megan Bayne and Lena Cross. So earlier, well, not even earlier on in the night, on the pre-show, freaking Lena Cross lost to Willow Nightingale, but Willow got injured during the match. So she came into this match injured. Megan Bayne and Lena Cross literally squashed, absolutely squashed fucking Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron. Squashed them and won the women's tag team belts. Wasn't really a match. So they're the tag team champs now. What are we going to do? I have no idea. Do we even have a women's tag team division? Oh, well, yeah, we got... What's that tag team between Alyx Windsor and homegirl, Jamie Hayter? What's that tag team called? So they're going to be fighting Megan Bayne and Lena Cross, probably. Maybe even throw in Ronda Rousey and Maria Shafir. There's another tag team for that ass. Swerve Strickland made his entrance as, and I love this, he made his entrance as the Candyman. Candyman. No, I'm not saying his name more than... You're not going to make me do it. So, Swerve Strickland came out as Candyman. That's 4 times. I'm not going to say it again. Brody King and him had a great match. This was brutal. He made Brody King look like $1 million, treated him like the monster that he is. Man, did he beat the piss out of Brody King, though. He whooped that ass badly. Brody King kicked out of... Did he kick out of the curb stomp? He did. He kicked out of the... Not the curb stomp, the double stomp, whatever you call that. Swerve stomp. The swerve stomp. I don't know why I said curb stomp. He kicked out of the swerve stomp, and it took 3 house calls to put him down. Them house calls were devastating, though. Brody King looked like a monster, and he beat him. So Swerve wins. He goes to get a cinder block, only to be stopped by, who am I? I am Keith Lee. What? No, not Keith Lee. Damn! Where is Keith Lee, man? I missed that guy. No, it wasn't Keith Lee. It was Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega came back, interrupted, and ran off Swerve Strickland. So now we're going to get Kenny Omega versus Swerve. Fuck yes. Give me that match at Dynasty. Excited about that. That's going to be fun. So, after this was Tekla versus Chris Statlander, 2 out of 3 falls. Again, I don't hate this match. I think this match is very underrated. People are not giving it the credit that it deserves. The problem is, it's a good match, but it's the weakest of the matches. Well, it's the weakest out of all the matches, honestly. It's just kind of there. Even the 6-man tag later on was better than this. But, yeah, it was fine. Chris Statlander got a victory. Tekla got a victory because it's 2 out of 3 falls. And then Tekla won after Chris Statlander grabbed the belt and let her anger get the best of her, allowing Tekla to pin her with multiple curb stomps. So Tekla retains. Awesome, because she needs to hold that belt to at least All In, where she drops it to Mercedes Moné. We gotta get Mercedes Moné back on the show eventually. And then we had the Don Callis family. The Don Callis family being Kyle Fletcher, Kazuchika Okada, and Mark. Big man Mark. That big guy Mark. Mark Davis. That's his last name. I was like, what the hell was his last name? Anytime I do that, Mark. That guy Mark. The white guy Mark, who's big. With that last name, Mark Davis. Versus Jet Speed and Mystico. Tony Khan wants us to sing Mystico's theme song. I don't even know what the words are. It's not going to happen, Tony. Match was fun. Good match. Solid. Jet Speed and Mystico won. Yeah. Shocker. Jet Speed and Mystico won. They are now the new AEW World Trios champs. And as soon as they had Jet Speed and Mystico win, they showed a graphic of Mystico being all elite. They signed Mystico full-time to AEW. Awesome. Congratulations. For real. Good for him. And he's a champ. Trios champ. I think he's a Trios champ in CMLL too, right? Multi-time women's champ? Sure. Multi-time Trios champ is what I meant to say. So congrats to Mystico being all elite. I'm going to speed run these next 2 matches. Bandito versus Andrade El Idolo. Listen, it was a good match. The last 5 minutes were fantastic. Some of the best wrestling I've seen all night. But it was just the last 5 minutes. The whole match could have just been put on Dynamite, quite honestly. Andrade wins with a top rope spinning underhook suplex or some crap. I don't know what it's called. But he beats Bandito, and that's about it. He took some pictures with some hot chicks on the side, and I was like, all right, dude. He took his pants off, too, and showed us what he was working with. And I was like, all right. God damn it. I need to see all that. He didn't really show it, but we saw the lining of it. Andrade wins that match. Tornado tag was next. Tornado 6-man tag. The Dogs. Versus Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong. Fun match. Very solid. I have no idea why David Finlay hasn't cut a promo yet, because I'm still waiting on them to explain why the fuck they're here. But yeah, David Finlay, who has main event vibes. Seriously, I look at that guy and go, well, there's a main eventer for you. David Finlay carries himself like a main eventer. Wasn't he like New Japan Pro Wrestling World Champion? I see why. That guy's got aura to him. He got his daddy's aura. Fit Finlay. But yeah, the Dogs lost to Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, and Roderick Strong. And then we got the main event. The main event. Oh, the evening. MJF, Hangman Adam Page. Texas Death Match. If Hangman Page loses, he can no longer challenge for the world title. So, the first thing we saw in this match was Hangman Adam Page get a, well, I'm trying to get this right. Was it a glass panel? Yeah, get a panel of glass. And then he was going to hit MJF over the head with it, right? And then MJF said, give me this shit. Breaks it in the middle of the ring. And he goes, I'm not into that indie death match torture porn shit. I'm not into that. Guess who gets suplexed on the glass? MJF. Hangman Page picks up MJF and suplexes him on the glass. Crazy. Then he goes outside to get a birthday card. And then he gets the, oh, this sucks. He gets the paper edge and then cuts in between his fingers. Oh, I hate that. You ever did that before where you got the paper and you just went, I hate that so much. And then the stapler, got the staple and stapled it to MJF's chest, the birthday card, stapled it to his chest, and then he ripped it off. I was like, Okay, here we go. And that's when you went, here we go. So now the glass is inside the ring. He slams MJF on the glass, turns him on his stomach, and then drags him through the glass. Ah! Ah! And then MJF returns the favor, slamming Hangman Page on the glass and dragging him back first through it. Ah! Oh, it gets worse. It gets a lot worse. You see MJF grab a piece of glass. He grabbed a piece of the glass on the ground and slits the top of Hangman Page's head and busts him open. Ah! And then MJF, this made me howl. Gets a broom and cleans up the glass, and the crowd booed. He got an asshole chant for that. Mwah. Love it. Great heel move. I loved it. Oh my god, it gets a lot worse. Cause as the match keeps going, now they got the edge of the broom, broke it, used that as a weapon. Then they got light tubes. Yeah, they went the whole 9 yards. They got light tubes, y'all. And when Hangman Page hits MJF on the back with the light tube, the camera panned out. The camera pans out and you see his back. There's a lining of glass all over his back and he's bleeding from it. Like it's glass like lined up over his back and he's bleeding profusely. He's bleeding profusely. What the fuck? What the fucky? My friend Nina says, what the fucky? Yeah, it was crazy. And then he busted the glass over his head, and then MJF is just covered in blood. It's just... Oh, it got a little uncomfortable after that. I was like, all right. Can't get any more worse than this. Oh, it gets a lot worse. We're not done. They go back to the ring. Hangman Page says, remember CM Punk? Gets the dog collar, puts the dog collar around his neck, and then puts the other dog collar. The dog collar from the dog collar match. Yeah, from 2022. And MJF's like, not again. Ah! And then he beats his ass. And then we see Hangman Page put up a table and put a barbed wire, like a smaller table with barbed wire on top of the table. And the crowd starts chanting, we want fire. I said, Jesus Christ. Now he's gonna set it on fire. He didn't need to. But he goes to climb the top rope, and then MJF grabs the dog collar that was wrapped around his neck and then tosses him onto the barbed wire table. They both go up the ramp. They do one of those sides, the side of the stage bumps where they fall off the stage and then fireworks. Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy. No, not Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy. Matt Hardy edge bump from Monday Night Raw. Literally that. They go off the stage and then fireworks. You know. So that yeah, they did everything. They used everything but the kitchen sink and fire. The match ends the same way all his matches end, with Hangman Page getting hanged. MJF throws Hangman Page over the top rope and hangs him until he passes out. Hangman Page, when he falls, his face hits the camera lens, hits the cameraman and the lens, and there's blood all over the camera. There's blood all over the camera, and the camera's still filming. I love that. And then we watch as the referee goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hangman Page loses. MJF wins clean by himself. Hangman Page can no longer challenge for the World Championship. Wow. That's it. That's it for Hangman Page, at least for him challenging for the World Championship. They're going to have to do something else with him. They gotta get creative. They gotta do something. They'll find something for him to do. And they'll get him back to that world title picture. Not right now, though. Take your time with it. Take your time. Take your time. Yeah, man, like... For me, and this is something that I've been keeping track of for the longest time. AEW, they've done this before with Cody Rhodes, right? And sometimes when they book themselves into a corner, they like to just forget that they did it. Don't do that. with Hangman Page. Stick to it. He lost. Work with it. Don't just give him another title match and just say, I changed my mind. No, he lost the match. He can't challenge for the world title now for at least a good 3 years. In the next 3 years, if you want to give him the belt back, go for it. Go for it. But sell this stipulation. No title match for years. And then MJF can go on to All In to defend the belt against Will Ospreay in the main event, please. Please, that needs to be the match. But yeah, that was easily the match of the night. Like, again, the best matches for me, and I'll even give you my top 3. Hangman, Adam Page versus MJF. Texas Death, definitely the best match. Second would be FTR versus the Young Bucks. That was awesome. And then Jon Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita, number 3. Everything else just, everything else was good, right? Maybe the next best match was Swerve versus Brody, and then Bandido versus Andrade. Everything else was fine, right? And then you had the surprises on top of that. So I thought the show was excellent. This felt like AEW getting back to its roots. But that's just my personal opinion. How'd y'all feel about the match? How'd y'all feel about the show? What was your match of the night? How'd you feel about MJF wearing the Terry Funk gear? I thought it was wonderful to see him wear Terry Funk gear. The man, the myth, the legend. I loved it. Let's see here. Ultra Shallow says, they better fucking move WrestleMania 43 away from Saudi Arabia. Give New Orleans back their mania. Honestly, if this war forces them to move WrestleMania away from Saudi Arabia, they better put it right back in New Orleans where it was originally going to be. Originally, it was supposed to be in New Orleans this year. They better get WrestleMania next year if Saudi Arabia can't do it. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. I like the original Game of Thrones series. I bet you did. I haven't seen the original series yet, but people are telling me I gotta watch it. But skip the ending. They say the ending is garbage. It's garbage. Where's Keith Lee? I have no fucking clue. I hope Tony Khan finds him and bring him back. CZW stars in making MJF versus... Wait, CCW stars in making MJF and Hangman Adam Page. Oh, is that like a behind the scenes kind of thing that you was suggesting? It'd be nice. Swerve versus Brody is my second best match. Swerve versus Brody was great. Brawling Birds, that's what they're calling themselves, the Brawling Birds. Alyx, Winter, and Jamie Hayter. Yeah, the best match of the night was definitely the main event. What's up, Drew Usher? The Savior! He says, Ronda Rousey debuted? She sure did. Ronda Rousey is now in AEW, man. You missed it. You missed it, buddy. How does that make you feel? How does it make you feel to know that Ronda Rousey's in AEW now? Does it make you want to go, ugh, yeah? I'm very curious to know what your reactions are. I'm pretty sure a lot of you just went, Ronda Rousey, yeah. I get it. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I don't have to like it. I'm just saying, Ronda Rousey, she that chick. Just get a bit of a mixed reaction. Travis White says he had the rare opportunity to meet her in Nevada Casablanca Resort Casino. Really chill in person. I'm pretty sure she's the coolest fucking chick and can whip anybody's ass. Let's see. Mike Colliner says it's her second time showing up in AEW, by the way. She was in a tag match with Rhea Shafir, but it aired on Ring of Honor. So it's not her second time. It's her first time on AEW television, even though she wrestled in Ring of Honor some time ago. A hell of a fighter, but no wrestler. So mixed reactions. I'm fine. I'm not going to lose my mind over Miss Ronda. As long as she's here for, like, if she's like here for real, fine. She can stay. I hope she, contributes. I hope she does justice. But if she ends up being a problem here, like she was before, Tony needs to kick her. And I mean that. Like, Tony's gonna really have to put his foot down and be like, look her. Looky her. Don't bring that shit that you did in WWE over her. Keith Lee is down and out right now. Double knee surgery. Double knee surgery? Jesus Christ. Is he like out? That's crazy, man. I thought he said he was good to go. Last I checked. He hasn't posted in a minute, though. Last time he posted was last year. That's crazy. But he's still... That's not him. That ain't him. I thought that was somebody else. Shayna and Duke is fine in WWE. Yeah, Shayna's training right now, so if WWE lets her go, she can go straight to AEW and come team with Ronda and Marina. Oh my goodness. You're gonna get the UFC 4 horsewomen, the 4 horsewomen. Maybe Hangman will challenge Yoda Tsuji for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship at Forbidden Door. He could. Can't say he shouldn't. Ronda just trying to get the AEW sickos to order her MMA fight against Gina Carano. We'll see. They should do Darby versus MJF leading into Dynasty. They better. Shit, I would have Darby beat MJF and have MJF win it right back on Dynamite. That's what I would do. Ronda will probably end up fighting Toni Storm at some point. I'm pretty sure Shayna is not with WWE anymore. She's not with WWE anymore. She's just helping with training, though. 9.5 out of 10 A show, outstanding. Last time I gave AEW a rating like that was Double or Nothing 2021. Not All In? What about All In 2021, bud? Remember? The double debut? Come on. The double debut. Bryan Danielson and then Adam Cole. Not All In. All Out. All Out 2021. Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson debut. Come on, man. And then CM Punk's return match. That still might be their greatest show, honestly. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and cut it off here. So, in literally what, 12 hours? Not even 12 hours. Less than 12 hours. No, not 12 hours. I'm thinking 24 hours. In about 24 hours, maybe a little bit less, maybe like 18 or so, you will see me again for Monday Night Raw, where the International Championship will be on the line. Yes, the International Championship was moved to Monday Night Raw. So if you want it back on SmackDown, come take it. But yeah, these shows are going way too long, and me staying up this late, I don't know how I feel about it. But thank you all so much for making me a part of your day. As you follow out, do all the YouTube things, like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and Venmo. I love you all, and I'll catch you guys next time, right here in Alyx's World. That place I is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. Get some sleep. Catch you guys next time. Peace. When you're when you're